Alright, today we're going to look at what happens if you change the data. And the specific two things that we're going to look at is what if you add and subtract numbers to the data, or what if you multiply all the numbers by, or all the data by that same number. So for the first one, we're just figuring out what is the mean of these, which means that I need to add up all of these numbers and then divide by 9, which gives me 40.4. So that is our mean. Our median, how nice of us, we already set this all nicely in order for you. So this would be the top bottom 4, these would be the top 4. So exactly 40 would be our median. Our range is the range of data, so it goes from 30 to 50, so it goes over 20 number exam scores. And then our last one is our standard deviation, and for this one we need to figure out how far everything is from the mean. So this is 10.4. This one here is 0.4. This one here is 4.6. This one here is 9.6. This one here is 4.6. 0.4 away, 5.4 away, 4.4 away, and 2.6 away. So those are all of the numbers away. And then our next step is to square each of these numbers and add them all together. So I'm going to square all of them and then add them. The next step that I take is I divide it by 9. And the very last step is I square root the whole thing. So we have 5.76 as our standard deviation. So if I add 5 points to each score, let's go ahead and check these out. The range would then be between 35 and 55. Oops. Between 35 and 55, which as you can see is the same exact range. The median is now 45. So this one changed. The mean is, let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to add 35 plus 40 plus 41 plus 45 plus 45 plus 48 plus 50 plus 50 plus 55, and divide that by 9, and we get 45.4. So what that tells us is that the mean also went up, and it should, if we're moving everything to the right, everything should move that way. Now, the standard deviation is going to be the distances away. If we take all of our data and just shift it here, all of the distances away from each other are all going to be exactly the same. So we're going to keep our range and our standard deviation exactly the same, because we're not deviating anymore. It's not more spread out or more condensed. It all just shifted. But the mean and the median changed. Now in this case and the mode. So I don't have a mode listed there, but the mode would have also changed. So the mode would have been 45, and then also the other one there. So describe the change for all of them. We just add 5 to them. So just like we add 5 and move them over, these guys here also change as their answers. So that was one thing that we could do. The other thing that we can do is we can multiply all the scores by 2. So if I multiply all my scores by 2, I now have that my bottom number is 60 and my top number is 100. So as you can see, my range used to be 20, but now my range is 40. We times by 2 for that one. For my median, if this is my middle term, but now I'm multiplying by 2, that's now going to be 80. So the median is going to change. The mean, if this was my mean, my new average is going to be also times by 2. And the last one is the standard deviation. So the thing is that if the average, or I'm sorry, if the range now goes from 60 to 100, and we now have 60, and we also have 100, and then the mean is now 80.8. This is a lot farther away than this was. This used to be about 10 away, now this is 20 away. So what happens is that the standard deviation also gets doubled. So all of them are now doubled. So the reality is nothing actually stays the same. They all change, and they all simply multiply by 2. Alright, so let's go ahead and see where we're going to go from here. Actually, I'll go ahead and stop the video, and we'll go to more.